Hello, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast. I'm not doing the intro because I'm too pissed off my club to do that intro as I normally do. And yeah, we're just going to get into it. We're literally moments away from having official confirmation from what we're hearing. A European Super League. I mean, me and mine talked about it in the previous stream for most of it, actually, given our thoughts on it. And yeah, obviously, because I'm joined by Harvey, who's a Man United fan, and Colin's also wanted to come in and join us as well and get these thoughts. So yeah, in the next 6 minutes, we're going to find out. Apparently, there's a joint statement coming out. Apparently, confirming they've signed this joint agreement to form a Super League against this. And this time, UEFA are not being involved. This is going to be an independent league system, and basically, from what I've heard since I've come off air literally in the last half hour, these clubs are still expecting themselves to compete at domestically in obviously the Premier League and at the Champions League as well. And basically, both bodies are told them where to stick it and say, if you do this, you're doing it on your own. Piss off.
But German clubs can't be in it, Ryan, because they have to be 51% owned by the fans. So Bayern Munich and Dortmund won't be in it no matter what.
No, literally, they've told them where to stick it already. Big up to them. But there's 16 teams so far signed up to this, apparently, being 3 Italian clubs. One of them being Juventus. I'm assuming the other 3 are. I don't know. Colin might have more idea who the other 2 are out of the 3. I'm assuming maybe the Milan teams. I don't know yet.
Yeah, honestly, Ryan, I don't really know. Like, I mean, I watch Serie A football, but like I don't really know what they would be doing. The only thing I can think of, right, in regards to Milan, right, and this is just a outside theory one, but you have to bear in mind who is technical director at Milan. And we all know that Ivan Gazidis is a money-grabbing prick.
Oh, just a tad.
So I think Milan would be in it just for the sole reason that he's there. Like
they are, buddy. Yep.
Because he'll put his name in the hat and whatnot. As for Juve, I'm stunned that they've put their name in the hat.
Well, quite a few. Even
we have 12 so far, Ryan. We've got 12 that I know of. 6 British clubs: Juventus, AC Milan, Inter Milan, and the 3 big clubs in Spain: Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico.
I don't. Again, Sky ain't showing the rest of who the other 4. Is it 4? 4 or 5 whoever it is are.
Yeah, I don't know who the other 4 are.
But basically,
those 12 it's definitely.
It's got to be serious this time around, because obviously we had back in the summer last year, Project Bigger Picture, basically a different worded version of what we're seeing now, being put out by the same club, but UEFA were involved in it as well at that time. But this time, as I said, the clubs have gone independent to the point they've even appointed who will be the president, what 4 will be the vice presidents, including our very own Stan Kroenke of all people, Abramovich, the Glazers, and Henry as well from Liverpool.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm disgusted because also because me and Mike were talking about it earlier. What happens with relegation? Apparently, Warren, watching the end of the broadcast of the FA Cup. No, you'll never be relegated. Once you're in, you're in.
No relegation at all. No.
Once you're in, you're in, and that it's like.
So it's basically the MLS then.
Basically, yes. Yeah. Once you're in, you're in. Basically, if you become good enough in Premier League or in Champions League, if you're competing, like Aston Villa, for example, go on to be a force in Europe, here in England, in Premier League, and then go in Champions League, this, that, and the other, they will be invited down the line, and the Evertons and things like that, they will be invited in as well.
Have you seen the UEFA statement, the one they released?
Yep, I've seen that. We briefly touched on it before, but basically what they're saying is they're totally against it. It goes against everything about football. It's made them out to be the good guys, but also any players that continue to play for these clubs, that if this goes ahead, they will not, I repeat, will not be allowed to compete at the international stage for their respective countries. I mean, Harvey's literally just goes back to ask. I don't know what's gone on there, but it's gone on mute as well, so maybe something's gone off there.
It'd be nice to get Harvey's idea actually, because I was just scanning through a lot of the other podcasts with everybody up in arms, and the only ones that I've found that are in favour of it are that McCullough and Howson, who do a podcast for Manchester United.
Oh, they're not.
Well, here's the thing, right? And this is what really does wind me up with this, right? Yeah. A lot from what I've seen, right? Listen, don't get it twisted. I'm not for it.
No.
I'm not for it in the slightest. And to be honest with you, no relegations. I'm just like,
what's the point of it? Basically,
that's fine with the MLS, right? Because that's how they've done it for years, right? So that's fine that works for them, right? But they need to stop calling this a Super League. Because in reality, what it is a money-grabbing tool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Because what Stan Kroenke, we know he's about the money, right? And Harvey being a United fan, I'm sure he'll tell you the Glazers are exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about money with them. Like that's it, bro. It's not. If this was like revamping the Champions League and they were redoing the coefficient and like another body was working with them, then fair enough. But that's not what they're doing. They are taking the best clubs from, said leagues and going, oh, you know what? Let's just put all the best teams into one league and let's do it like that. It sounds great on paper, doesn't it? Sounds great on paper, doesn't it? Yeah. Bayern Munich, Barcelona, AC Milan, Inter, Atletico, Real Madrid, Arsenal, United, all of that. Sounds great, doesn't it?
Part of it, mate.
Well, no, but you get the point, though. Yeah. Sounds great on paper, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
In reality, that's not the situation. Because ultimately, when you look at it, I think it's just... I just look at it and I think the game's gone completely, mate. The game's gone.
Well, you have to say. Yeah, I don't know what Henry thinks, but...
sorry, we had a Chelsea fan in the chat. He popped up again, but he's saying even he's discussed if his team does it as well. And I mean, look at fucking who his owner is as well. But also, comment here says on Monday or tomorrow, UEFA was meant to be announcing a new revamp of the UEFA Champions League. So the timing as well was not fucking gone down well either from their side of things.
No.
I mean, Harvey. I mean, as a United fan, because we're Arsenal fans, we've got a few Chelsea fans and Liverpool fans in the chat giving their discuss. But where do you sit on this?
Just another way to get money in it, really. You see it as all the biggest teams going against each other. Your big games, they get more money for the fans, the atmosphere. But you keep playing the big games, you're just going to keep losing interest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, my thoughts on it, Harvey, were that you get these wonderful games that come up in the Champions League. Sometimes quarterfinals, sometimes semi-finals, and the final. When you're playing each other, when you're playing each other 6 times a year in whatever competition they might have. I mean, it's already crazy enough, isn't it, that a team in the UEFA, with a new revamped UEFA competition, that you can actually finish 24th in that group of teams that they're going to have in. You can have the 24th worst record in the group stage and still win the UEFA. It's just absolutely mental.
It's pointless.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's all this will become, wouldn't it? It'll just be a bigger version of that.
Yeah.
Be a joke. It's a joke, mate. The only way I could see this working, right, and bearing in mind, I'm not advocating it at all, but if they were to do this in a sense that they did, a European Super League and then like 2-3 tiers down.
Yeah.
It's the only way. That's the only way I could see it working. But even then, the bigger issue is it does nothing but harm domestic football. That's the issue I have with it. I'm not for it in the slight. I can see why the club would go forth with the proposal because they stand to make in excess of 300 plus million. So from a financial aspect, I can see why they're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, even the football rights, there's a TV company already come out and said it'll pump £4.5 billion into broadcasting.
I can see why they're doing it. That doesn't mean I'm all right with it. But at the same time, I'm not going to stop supporting my football club because I've seen a lot of that tonight. I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, if this thing comes to fruition, I'm not going to support my football club anymore. Everyone knows that's bollocks. Like, you can't, no matter what the club does that you don't agree with, you can't disconnect from a football club. It's a religion, bro. It's a religion. So I'm just at the point now where it is what it is, and you know, we just have to swallow it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a good point there that you can't disconnect when you desperately want to be, you know, when that's your club and you love them and this, that, and the other. But as they are at the moment, and the sort of hard line that the FA and UEFA might take is those clubs, in essence, as far as the Football Association are concerned, won't exist. I mean, they'll exist as, don't get me wrong, they'll still exist as clubs, but it won't be part of the Football Association. The players won't be able to represent their international teams. Whether they're bothered about that, I don't know. But the sanctions that they will actually throw down the pipeline might make a few people rethink, not in terms of supporting your team, but as you know, a person who's travelled to Swindon for an away game in an FA Cup. Somebody who's been, you know, and stood on the terraces at Roker Park on December the 26th and got absolutely snowed in when you had all standing stadiums and stuff like that. You know, those days as such will be gone. And I don't know how many. I mean, you're basically going to become an armchair supporter because eventually you see where this goes. You'll end up playing bloody Boca Juniors or something. You know, in a World Super League.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm sure certain people have done this on FIFA before. Like, I'm pretty sure most people have. Right? It's fun at first, right? Yep. But once you do a year, it gets boring.
Yeah, it does.
Because then it just becomes a tool. Because then you had to like sort out the other leagues and that and make sure it doesn't get all fucked up after a year. But still, this isn't something that's meant to be brought into fruition, you know, in football. It's fun if you're just doing it in your spare time on FIFA or Football Manager. But it's not. Absolutely. It's not something that's meant to be brought into fruition. Like what Gary Neville said on Sky tonight. I mean, first things first, I thought it was kind of hypocritical, to be honest with you, because anyone at Sky who has the audacity to come out and lambast people for being greedy, I'm sorry, what was the whole pay match scheme about then? Like, nah.
It's trying to be like there's doing it to be. Oh, look, we're the good guys. We don't want this because da 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 da.
I'll make no mistake that it's that they're also thinking of their money aspect. No question whatsoever. You know, he's absolutely spot on there. In that they're going to be thinking about their money grab because it's their money they'll be losing. But at the end of the day, the fans are going to be the one that loses out. I mean, I don't know what Arby thinks about. You know, there's even one or two people going already. Well, I think it's a good idea, but it can't be a good idea, can it? I mean, you know, we've all got games where, you know, you play your Madrids or your Barcelonas. If you're playing them 6 times a year, it ceases to become an event.
Yeah. There's a few people in the chat saying this ain't going to happen. It's just power play. But to be honest, this has happened twice now in not 6 months, but twice in under a year now. This has come racing to the surface like it has. For it not to be more than just power play now. And again, if it was as in once every few years, and you can, okay, there's trying to push the boundaries here. But also look at the clubs involved, or the ones that, in the sense of Atletico. Harvey's disappeared. I'll get him back in a sec, hopefully. Atletico, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, Man City. Them teams alone have had issues with UEFA in recent years.
With being done for financial fair play.
Yeah. If it was just them, you could say, "Cool, it's just that maybe." But it's more than that now. There's more clubs involved. There's 16 clubs ready to go. Okay, let's go.
It'll change football forever if it happens. It really will change things if it happens.
Yeah. Alfie in the chat saying Chuck Sky News. I've literally got Sky Sports News on, literally on my screen, so everything pops up.
Hassan Hüttel's calling it unacceptable. He's saying that it worries me, but I must say the message from the Premier League was a very clear one, and I 100% agree with what they had to say. For me, it's absolutely unacceptable what is going on behind the scenes. Nobody wants it, and even the fans of the clubs who want to go there want it. Hopefully, we will find the right steps to not let it happen. And that's from Hassan Hüttel as well.
Yeah, I mean, Ferguson's put a statement out as well. He's saying he's totally against it, this, that, and the other here. This is correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Ferguson still, he's part of the board, well, he's employed by the club still, but at a board level.
Well, it's not, I don't think he's employed by the club, Brian. I think it's like, he's just that like overseeing, like, you know, advice kind of figure in the way that
an ambassadorial role, isn't it?
Yeah, in the way that Wenger would be at Arsenal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if Wenger,
but he's claiming it. But he's claiming up until this broke, he knew nothing about it. Sure, you'd hear whispers. The fact it's come back so soon after the last time, back in the summer, you'd hear whispers of it coming.
I mean, if Ferguson's against it, that should tell you everything you need to know. This guy's the godfather of football, bro. Like, I don't know. The way I look at things, right? I mean, it's like I said before. It sounds great on paper, but you know, not all things that sound great on paper are good.
You'll be bored in 2 years, mate.
Like take our squad for instance. On paper, it looks good, but in reality, it's not, is it?
It's absolute crap. There, I think you'd be bored senseless in 2 years.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, as it says, it's 16 teams. So if you're doing if he's like a league format as well, and it's like, for example, 6, you've got to play, like, working over in Scotland, you've got to play a team, X amount, every team, like 3 times a season, one season twice at your place, and the following season twice at their place. It's like, it's just ridiculous. It gets boring. I mean, the whole point of the Champions League, we get excited when the big teams play each other because it's obviously, in terms of if it's either a knockout phase or group stage, it's 2 games, 1 game at your place, 1 game at theirs. It's not continuously fucking non-stop throughout the whole fucking year.
The derbies will become mundane, Ryan. The whole point of like derbies is like you play each other twice. Yeah. And you know, because fans look forward to those derbies. Me personally, I love the North London derby. I mean, all right, going into it, I'm a nervous wreck.
But when it actually comes down to it, it's like
when it comes down to it, right? Like whoever getting one over on your rivals over 2 games, that's a special feeling that you can't replicate. Like the Super League would only ruin that. Like imagine United playing City 6 times in a calendar year. It would lose the luster of it. Like if Arsenal played Tottenham 6 times over a calendar year, it would lose its luster. If Chelsea played Fulham 6 times, it would lose its luster. That's the point.
Yeah, and I'm just,
you know, it just becomes commonplace then, doesn't it? And you know, you go to work once every 6 months, and you've got that over them until you know the next time you play them. You're playing 4 weeks later in the cup. You're like, what? And then you play them another 2 weeks later, and then you play them another 4 weeks after. And you're like, wow, what is it?
I think I think with it, I don't think they would put the cup into it. I think if they were going to do a breakaway, they just scrap the cup altogether. Which again, that's just like
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
I mean, this is what the comment in the chat saying this is what Kroenke has been knocking. This is what Kroenke has been holding out for. Big payday. Yeah. Melvin said it as well recently, but in terms of the payday he was thinking that he was waiting for was the streaming side of things, not this. But this is just ramming it home. But even then,
he's got his sticky fingers all over it, hasn't it?
Oh, of course he has. He's just.
If anything, it would. I mean, if we're looking at, I mean, I'm trying not. I'm not going to play devil's advocate, but kind of go the other way with it, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking at this, and I'll use them as an example, right? If you're looking at this, right, from a Newcastle fan's point of view, right? This might actually mean they get a sale for them.
That's a bit of the equation, yeah.
But let's just say, for instance, it ended up being Newcastle, West Ham, Everton in a title race. Effectively, the league win wouldn't be as special.
Yeah, we're saying this earlier. Literally,
because all it would do, it would be like the equivalent of what the Championship is to the Premier League. Yeah, essentially, yeah.
It'd be like, oh yeah, that was I was saying to Warren earlier in the watch along with you for the FA Cup game. We'd be like, oh yeah, great, you won the league. Oh, that's great, but could you have done that with Man City, United, Liverpool, and all that still at the helm?
Yeah, I mean, there'll always be that.
Yeah, there'll always be that mark against it as well.
But the other way with that, Ryan, the other way with that is, say that does happen, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, Colin, is 10 years down the line when everybody's bored witless with it, you know, and they start popping along to watch their local club, you know, your Fisher Athletics, okay, the standard of football ain't great, because I'm not being funny, who's going to have the money or the wherewithal or want to even travel to bloody Galatasaray on a Monday night, and then you've got maybe Ajax on the Friday night, you know, away. So where's the money coming from for me to fly to Turkey to watch that game and the time off work, and then possibly watch Ajax at home on the Saturday, and then the following Wednesday night, you know, we're away in bloody I don't know, Benfica or Milan. You know, it's just not. It's just become a spectator sport on the telly. That's all it'll be.
Yeah, and if anything, you'll get more casual fans in and around the game as well. They don't really give a fuck. Like, because listen, Arsenal get enough of that around the Emirates anyway, but still, it's kind of, I don't know how to put it really, because it's kind of, you're caught in two ways about it. On one hand, you're thinking, yeah, it sounds great, you know, Arsenal, Barcelona on a Monday night, great. Arsenal, Bayern Munich, you know, Arsenal United, Arsenal, all those games sound great, but then you have to take travel into account.
Yep.
Then you have to take in the fact that the players will be knackered from the flights.
Yep.
Then you have to take into account the fact that, you know, the pricing of it on the TV.
Yeah.
There's so much that goes along. There's so much that goes along with this that it has to be thought out. The way I look at things, they've done this on a whim. They've not thought this out. They've not planned it carefully. All they've done is, oh, you know what? We can make more money from this. Yeah, we'll just do that.
Where are you getting the refs from?
It's nothing.
Yeah. Where are you getting all the referees? Well, are you going to set up a separate referees association? Because anybody going with the Super League, trust me, from the referees association here will be banned in a heartbeat from officiating in any games
not
in
to
the
mention
UK.
The fact, not to mention the fact that they'll ask for astronomical wages to do it.
Yep. Yeah, they will.
So that's more money out of the pocket.
Yep, because I'm not being funny. Referees at the elite level, I mean, I happen to know what they get, you know, being a decent level ref. But the money they're going to have to earn to be able to do the travel and everything else. It'll be like a traveling circus of referees, really.
Yeah. Not to mention the circus that, like if they want to do it properly, like they'll have to incorporate VAR as well.
Yep.
That'll cost even more money.
Yes.
Like, if anything, like there's more negatives to this than there is positive. Like, the only positive is the big box office like games that will happen, but the negatives are the money side of it, like the amount of just the circus that it'll be.
Yeah.
The fact that it'll be owned by Kroenke, Perez, the Glazers,
Roman,
all these owners that we can't stand. Like, I mean, Harvey knows more about the Glazers than me, but I certainly don't want Joe Glazer running the league, man. Jeez, nah.
How much in debt will it be by the time the Glazers have finished?
Jesus Christ. No, but I think there's more meat to this as well, because like Brian Swanson's got him on live at the moment. There's basically we're waiting for confirmation of if it's been signed or what's been actually agreed. But the amount of statements that are coming out from the leagues, respectively, UEFA, and now even Boris Johnson is talking about it and saying he'll back the FA and whatever they decide to do. I mean, as you mentioned earlier, Gary Neville had a massive meltdown. This, that, and the other. He went in, especially in the top three clubs in England, us, Liverpool, and United, and said because we are. As
with the history we
are the trendsetters, as you said, in the history and all that, we shall be points deducted, relegated, total stripped, the lot.
I mean, he was being a bit harsh on that. I mean, I get that he doesn't like it, but to say that there should be points deductions, title stripped, and all the rest of it, it's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, and to be honest, anyone at Sky that has a go at this, right, is hypocritical in my view.
Of course, because literally that's the whole base of the Premier League, basically, in one sense, because up to 92, this is Sky's baby. They're scared it could go boom and be no more.
Yeah, and when you think about how the Premier League came about, it's actually similar to this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but at least today it was with the Premier League when it was brought up. It wasn't like, oh, we're making this league, and these teams are going to be in it, and they'll never be relegated. Never ever. This is the league. This is way away from
the differences. But the point I'm making,
I know what you're saying. Yeah, but I know what your point you're making.
Yeah, the point I'm making, right, is how it came about is very similar to how this is happening.
Yeah, and they've been very and they're scared. Of course, they're scared because it is as I was just saying, this is their baby. If they lose the Arsenals, Chelsea's, your Manchester clubs, Liverpool, they're not really bothered. But it's the five I've just mentioned before. They lose.
I'll be bothered if we're not playing them.
I'm saying in terms of
games. I know. Yeah,
but I'm saying in terms of
two games you look forward to every season, don't you? But I don't want to play them 6 times. I really don't.
Well, David Damon in the chat saying this is the death not just of English, but also Welsh clubs like Cardiff, Swansea, Newport, Wrexham that play in the English league. They play in the English league as well, exactly. And then Cheddar's in the chat. Liverpool fan himself says Gary Neville, Salford paid their way to get into football. It is true because they have as well. So it is like, well, you say this, but at the same time,
Gary Neville comes across like Salford are the same. Like, nah. Like the way Salford came about.
Yeah,
the way that club came about
to where it is now,
and this is where Gary Neville's a hypocrite, because Salford came about in a way that, all right, it's not quite the same as the Super League, but it had something to do with money. Like he can act all righteous and holier than thou all he wants, but ultimately,
without money behind it, Salford wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Exactly. So, anything, Gary Neville's being a hypocrite.
Well, also, this is the man. This is one part of the. This is the man that runs a consortium that runs that club that actually brought a player from the SPL in Rooney from Aberdeen, and offered more wages than what Aberdeen were offering, and that's the top of. So there's, as you said, there's hypocritical.
Where's Adam? Well. Where's Adam Rooney now? Ask yourself that.
I don't even know if he's there now. I don't even know if he's. I think he got rid of it. Well, even didn't know. I don't know. I don't really watch it, to be honest.
I think James Wilson's there.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Well, see, that's another thing. Salford just like picking fucking, get United academy players and whatnot. Like they're essentially United B.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're training wheels for United.
Let's call a spade of what Salford are, bro. That's what they are. United B.
But getting back to the topic on hand, when you look at where the sanctions would go with this, the sanctions I would imagine would be absolutely horrendous. I really do. I don't think that they would. I mean, obviously, you're pulling the tail of the tiger, aren't you, by doing that, by giving them sanctions? But you could see it coming, and eventually. My worry is you'd end up with 12 or 14 or 16 clubs that are just PLCs rather than football clubs. And I mean, it's headed that way as it is. But I mean, we literally it'd just be like a travelling consortium, and that would be such a shame.
Well, considering the announcement of this Super League thing from the clubs that have been put out there, was meant to come out at 9:45. We're now 10:10. And it's still not out. They're delaying this because they've seen the backlash, maybe, and they're thinking, "Oh, fuck, maybe we should." Maybe that's the case. I don't know, but
to be honest, I don't even think they give a fuck about the backlash. I just think they're trying to figure out how they're going to do it. Like that's the thing that gets me. I don't even think they fully planned this out.
No. Me and Mom talked about this earlier because they've got to then, if they set this league up, okay, it all goes ahead. They've then got to find referees that are going to be happy to come and be involved in it and referee on a week-to-week basis. The players themselves, knowing they can't play for their respective countries, are going to be happy to not do that and play for these clubs as well. And also you've got to then set up the TV, who's broadcasting it, and all that malarkey. You've then got to
it'll be on box office, mate. It won't be on Sky, but it'll be on box office.
All the travelling, as you said earlier, about the travelling for the respective teams, back and forth throughout the whole of Europe and the fan base as well, this, that, and the other. There's so much they haven't thought of.
No.
And all their thought is, this could be a big money maker for us. What a perfect time to announce it when we're in COVID. Fucking idiots.
Yeah. Having ideas sounds good, right? Yeah. But you've got to plan things out. You can't just do it on a whim.
Yeah. Also, it's not just 12. I think it's 16. The number has risen to 16 clubs, Steve, I believe. So,
China. End up like China. What will happen is you might get some of these players now that don't want to, that are happy to let go of their international careers. But then you could say it does happen, and you've got a lad playing for Newcastle. Suddenly he's scoring goals left, right, and centre. He's the new Alan Shearer. Starts playing for England. They get through to they look like they're going to do something in a World Cup. And one of these big clubs comes in for him, and he's like, "Where are you going to find these players if not on the world stage of the football associations that you've just left? Well, you're going to get them through your academy."
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, also, what I find hypocritical of the Premier League as well wasn't they winning under Scudamore a few years back to add an extra game to the league campaign for everyone, and everyone had to play over in the likes of Asia and all that next to Premier League game and things. Yeah. There's a bit of hypocritical there as well. I mean, just
that's where it's headed.
I'm just banging my head over a brick wall. I can't be asked with this anymore. And again, I've said on social media, and I'm saying it again now. I'm embarrassed that my club is involved in this. But the people that should be even more embarrassed and more ashamed of themselves are the people that sold their shares to this man, knowing this was going to happen. They sold their souls to this.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not being funny, mate. You'll end up with a charity shield in Dubai. You know?
Yeah. David as well says that they didn't think about the non-league football. All clubs they will go bankrupt. Then if those clubs go bankrupt, then goodbye to the kids' football and the pyramid. Exactly. But then again, in that side of things, they don't care. All they care about is what lines their pockets.
The game's gone, Ryan.
Expensive Scottish Premiership, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just that's it.
Yeah.
Except that there's no actual
The
competition.
game's gone.
And also, Chad is saying he makes a point here. He says the sanctions from UEFA threatening to make about the players not playing for the international teams. He says, in his opinion, it won't happen. Imagine a World Cup without the best players. FIFA is the one that loses out here, and UEFA with the UEFA side of it as well.
Piedras, I've got a reply to that, mate. Many years ago, when Kerry Packer came along. All the best players went and played for Packer, and they were all banned from playing for their international sides. And I tell you what, international cricket didn't suffer. People just went, but when those players were all banned, then the likes of people like Ian Botham and people like that came through, and David Gower, and they turned out to be legends. Do you know what I mean? So it will sting for a little bit, but quality players will still come through.
Okay. Joe in the chat as well saying Madrid were playing. It finished 0-0, by the way, so that side of it. But a bit calmer there, I say. But Madrid were playing. That's why it's been delayed. Expected announcement at 10:30 in 15 minutes. We've got an announcement apparently coming our way.
I'm so sorry to cut and run, fellas, but I'm up at 5 in the morning, so I'm just going to say thank you for having me, and I'll catch up with you. Oh, nice to meet you, finally, fella.
Man.
Yeah.
So good.
By the way, Warren, that watch along we did a while ago is now hit on the verge of 900 viewers.
Blimey.
And that's literally. I think the thing is, what did we do? Speak about most of that fucking thing. This. Harvey's had to go as well, so that way, me and Connor will keep. Cheers, Warren.
Keep it going, guys.
As well. See you on Thursday or whenever we can get you back.
Will do, mate. I'll drop you a text. And lovely to meet you, man, for the first time.
Colin, big up.
Yeah, man.
For another 14 minutes at least, you've got us to keep you sane and break the news officially. Yay. I'm sick. I'm sick of it. I actually thought after last time, because Bob mentioned, me and Bob was talking about it before, about a few weeks, and I said, the fact it went so, Brendan, we've heard about this for a year. I've been literally about when I was about 8, 9, even longer than that. This is how far Brendan this goes back, Brendan. If it was going to happen, it would have happened either last summer or a bit sooner. I think the fact that the backlash that they got last time, maybe, I think that's probably quashed it now. This, that, and the other. This is just round. I think this is it. I think it's going to happen. I actually genuinely believe it's going to happen. Yeah, Ferguson is.
Ryan, this goes back to what I was saying earlier, right? About this being something you do in your spare time. Right? And I mean this wholeheartedly, right? This is essentially what Colonel Ward said in the chat a while ago, yeah?
There's quite a few things.
It's essentially like making a custom database on FM21, right? And putting all the best teams into one league and doing several divisions below, which takes hours, by the way. Don't get it twisted. That takes hours. And, sorting it out. But if you do just one division, right? What happens when, it just fucks it up after the first year? Like, in the case of this, right, what will happen is people will just get bored. The North London derby will lose its luster. The Manchester derby will lose its luster. I don't know if Everton will be in it, but
that's what I'm saying. So Merseyside, the derby itself will just go non-existent.
Yeah.
El Clasico, the Madrid derbies will lose its luster.
That'll lose its luster 100%.
Milan
You'll
derby.
have Juve Inter will lose its luster. You'll have if Milan are in it, I don't know if they are, but if they are,
we'll find out. I hope we'll find out soon what's going on. But yeah,
if Milan are in it, Milan will 100% lose its luster. Like, because I remember watching Milan a few weeks ago, this year, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, don't get me wrong, the game was crap, but
there's that intensity behind it.
From a Milan standpoint, Juve were immense, but it still had that Juve Milan type feel.
Yeah.
If this goes ahead, it won't have that.
No, because as I said, the players get bored of it. The fans itself will get bored of it. Even the neutrals will get bored of it, and it's like, okay, another derby, another Milan Juve, or another North London. Great, fantastic, cool.
Milan, Inter, that'll lose its luster too.
Yeah. I mean, Stefan, who's an Ipswich fan in the chat, says he's saying, I don't think this is such a. I think the thing is, it is because if this goes ahead, the club of Arsenal and all that, it's going to go ahead. And I do have a feel it's going to go ahead the way things have unravels today.
I think it will as well.
It affects Ipswich as well. It'll affect all of you, and not in a positive way.
It will.
You may think it will. You may think
because what will happen? Championship clubs will get bumped up to the Premier League. They won't have a choice. They'll get bumped up regardless because they'll have to fill the leagues up with other teams, and then you'll have to promote like non-league sides into League Two. And what does League Two look like in a few years? What does League One look like in a few years? What does the Championship look like in a few years? So on and so forth.
Yeah. Well, literally, I was saying earlier as well, me and one on my other stream that I did earlier, when the Premier League was brought about, obviously you had Premier League, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, and then after about 15, 20 years of the Premier League being around, I'm trying to think now, 92, so about 10 years into it, they then rebranded the Division 1 as the Championship League, Division 2 as League 1, Division 3 as League 2. They rebranded, and that's what's going to happen again with you guys. But also, there's a financial aspect of, because we ain't here to compete with you, there won't be that law. And then if you manage to get yourselves into the Premier League as it would be then, if you were to be in for example, a Champions League spot, or you on a Premier League winner on the budget that you're currently on, as in you've done what it was like it used to be with Arsenal years ago, you won't have that same. You'll always be criticised by the media and rival fans and your own fans thinking, "Oh, great, we've won the title. Great, you've won the title, but you wouldn't. But if it weren't for Man City and Arsenal and United and etc., doing what they've done, you wouldn't be here." And then literally, and eventually, that's it. And the more successful you become, you're going to get invited to come along, and then you're going to lose your rivalry. For example, it's Norwich. You lose that rivalry because then you're not competing against them anymore, and it gets watered down even more and more and more. It gets ridiculous. And the fact you don't get relegated, 16, as you stated, 16 teams. But the more teams that then jump on board, if this goes ahead, but it looks like it will be. There's going to be a lot of teams in this league eventually, and to not be relegated. What is just competing to be what the best team in Europe, and that's it. Woo-hoo.
Like that. That's what the Champions League was for. This is what I don't get. Like, what does the winner of this thing get? Like, the best team in Europe happens to be the team that wins the Champions League. In fact, I'll go back a bit, right? Do you remember, Ryan, when the UEFA Cup, a prestigious competition, was rebranded as the Europa League, and they did it all wrong?
Yeah.
That's where we're going with this.
Yeah.
That's where we're going, right? Because I'm old enough to remember how prestigious the Europa League is, right? Because as a football fan, living in Scotland and have done for most of my life, right? I remember when Celtic got to the UEFA Cup final against Porto. Now, I wasn't a Celtic fan, but I was supporting Scottish football because, Celtic winning a European title. I didn't see them win the Champions League. Right? So that was new to me. Seeing a Scottish club win a European title. That to me was massive. But with this, it's like there's no prestige involved.
No.
Like, I mean, it's just.
But Alfie's saying
there's no prestige.
No. Well, Alfie's saying in the chat, the team who comes first gets a bag of sweets. So basically, what it's going to be, basically, you come first, you get a bag of sweets. Everyone else, you took part. See you next season. It's just a timing as well, because as we were saying earlier, literally UEFA as well went to unveil their new plan to revamp the Champions League for next season onwards. Again, because they did such a great job last time they revamped it, didn't they? Yeah, they took them 15 years to sort that one out.
And the main reason why the Europa League is a failure for the British sides, i.e. Liverpool, United, Chelsea, Arsenal, all of them, right?
Celtic, Rangers and all that as well.
It's because the teams from Britain don't take it seriously, right? Whereas teams like Sevilla, Villarreal, they know they're not winning La Liga. They know this. Because La Liga is built towards Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Fact. And once in a blue moon, Atletico pop up.
Atletico came in and I wouldn't say broke that monopoly, but they forced their way into it. If the powers that be had their way, Atletico Madrid wouldn't be anywhere near that.
Exactly.
So that's why the Europa League is a failure for the British sides. Because the Premier League isn't geared towards one. If anything, the whole Leicester winning the league thing, that fucked us up.
It fucked everyone up.
And I don't just mean Arsenal, by the way. I mean the whole league.
Yeah.
Because the powers that be saw that and thought, oh, Leicester winning the league. We can't have that again.
Hence why they allowed what's happened since to happen, in the sense of City to be at spending spree as they have been, Liverpool to do what they could do to get back to winning that title for the first time in 30 years. And I think Chelsea won it a couple of times since, once since then. So I think
they won it. They won it the season. They won it the season after Leicester did under Conte. Yeah,
under Conte. Yeah, literally. But
funny that he's going to win Serie A soon,
and at a counter as well.
Oh,
but that's going down well in Milan after years of dominance from you.
Well, it's not going well in Turin, I can assure you.
But that's what I'm saying. After years of dominance from Turin and as in Juventus, is fucking what.
Well, that's what happens when you appoint a manager that's only had 9 days of youth football as a manager.
And even then, didn't even manage the game, by the way.
No. Although some people will draw comparisons with Arteta with that, but there's no comparison there whatsoever.
But literally, Pirlo didn't do understudy, as in understudy of a
he right just got his coaching badges, and they were like, "Yeah, off you go."
Yeah, you're a legend. Off you go. Oh, there's the veins. Oh dear. Stefan's saying, how can other teams in Scotland compete with the old firm? Saying, no, it used to be competitive, but it's just over the years, the way the league's gone, that's what it is.
Rangers have broke the monopoly recently, but that's because they've got a good coach.
Yeah.
When you look at Aberdeen, this season they've been a shambles. When you look at the rest of the teams in this league, it's like night and day. Even Rangers don't have the amount of money that they used to. They're on a shoestring budget compared to Celtic.
Due to what happened, that's the situation they've been put in. And I think also another reason why the old firm, even before the situation with Rangers happened, when they got demoted to the very bottom of the league or whatever, the bottom tiers of Scotland, teams just showed you couldn't really compete with Celtic and Rangers at the time back then, even before then, especially in the early 2000s, because of the kind of players they had at their disposal. Henrik Larsson, Hartson, Sutton, Petrov from
even in recent times, Ryan.
Petrov.
Even in recent times, like you've got James Forrest and Lee Griffiths at Celtic. How the fuck are you going to compete with that?
Exactly. I mean, and this is what the clubs' minds. The other clubs like the Aberdeens and Motherwells and the Hearts of this world are thinking. Well, we'll just try and get fit.
And bear in mind, the majority of them players came from around the league.
Yeah.
Right. If Celtic come calling, right, and you're at Hibs or Aberdeen and whatnot, right, you're not going to say no.
Obviously, the only ones that would say no is a Rangers kid, basically a kid coming from the Rangers Academy, because of the aftermath of it all.
And I know for a fact that Celtic were looking at Scott McKenna before Nottingham Forest grabbed him.
Yeah. Going back into the chat quickly while we're waiting for this news to break. He's gone to adverts on my screen anyway. Thank you, saying rather than doing watch songs for Arsenal Fulham or Arsenal Brighton every week, you'll be doing watch songs for Barcelona, Juventus, Man United every week. Yeah, it get repetitive and boring.
That would get boring, man. It'd be the same shit.
To be fair, Frankie is against this. He was saying this earlier. He was against this European Super. He's just saying, for example, but
I know what you're saying, but it's the same shit.
He's saying we are screwed as a club. It's not just us as a club; it's all the clubs involved are screwed because they don't go ahead of this because their fan base will turn against them. It'll divide the fan base even more. Actually,
Ryan, here's something that I'll put to you, right? Because I've seen a lot of this on social media, right?
Well, fans I'm not saying fans don't go.
Everyone with a brain, right, would be against this, right?
Yeah.
But would you disown Arsenal if this went ahead? Yes or no?
No, but I won't be happy about it. That's the thing. I can't because it's a connection that we've built up over the years.
Yeah, exactly. It's a drug.
Yeah, but I won't be happy. That doesn't mean I'll be happy about it. Obviously, hence why we're doing what we're doing.
I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it, but at the same time, I'm not going to disown my club, am I? I've supported them since '97, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, Luke as well says in the chat about Kroenke being got power. He's had power since the day he got the majority of shareholders of this club.
Yeah, like we've been dealing with Kroenke being in charge since
2011. 2011.
Was it?
Yeah,
I thought it was sooner than that.
No, he came into the club around 2007 period. And David Dean introduced him to Usmanov to the club. But when he became majority shareholder was 2011. I remember because it was that Liverpool game with the last minute penalty that they got, even though it wasn't a penalty. But that was the first game where he actually. So yeah, it's been that long, and now he's full owner. He's the full owner of this club. He had 100% shares. No, he doesn't have to dictate to no one.
No.
Because I can't hear anything now.
Don't get me wrong. I'm thankful he's put money into the. I'm thankful he's like. Oh. Okay, guys. I guess I'm gonna have to entertain you for a bit, or something, kind of. Even though I can't. I'll put it in the chat. I mean,
I literally, the mic, for some reason, the mic muted itself, and I've had to unmute it, but I can talk, but I couldn't hear nothing, so I had to revamp it again.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought, what is your...
Leaving you in control.
What's with your mic, mate?
Oh, no, it does it once in a blue moon. It pisses me off, though, because I have to come out and go back in to hear people talk. It's like, for fuck's sake. Oh dear, one second. I'm just waiting to hear. It's now 10:32 and still nothing's come out. Guys in the chat, if you hear anything yourselves, let us know and tell us where to go and look.
In fact, hold on. I'll get Sky Sports up on my web browser just to see if anything happens up. Take questions from the chat in the time being.
No, it's saying Steve in the chat saying it's a drug a lot of people won't be able to afford anymore. It's true, but it'll end up like we're doing what we've been doing this season in terms of the watch longs we've been doing on this channel and other channels. That will just happen. The ones that can't afford to go, they'll either set up channels or go on channels and watch the game with or watch it at home on their own with their own friends and family, or things like that. And And even if it's not a box office, they'll find ways to get this stream sale. Like we've done this, had to do this season. Sometimes.
I can tell you right now, Ryan. Yeah, IPTV is going to get like very popular over the next few months.
Yeah.
Like, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the guys that I know at Vortex Evo got a lot of subscriptions in the next few months.
Thank you in chat saying also we don't know how long this pandemic will last. It could last 20 years. It's like it's mutating. The economic incentive of moving to this Super League becomes apparent. Always a question, actually. One sec from Stefan. Question to our Scottish friend: do you think the old firm clubs will be invited into the Super League on the premise of their massive fan bases? Yes, of course, I think they will. Personally, because
I think they'll take the fan base aspect into account. Whether or not they're included, I don't know. Because I think most of I think it'll be based on the fact that it could be based on the new rules for the Champions League that were going to take place over the next few years, where like it would come into the fact that it would be how many times you've been in it, how many times you've won it, fan bases, etc.
I think someone mentioned it in the chat earlier as well. So I'll get back to your answer quickly. Someone, what if? Because obviously, because I want to do it independently and all that. What if the president, or as in Perez, or any of the vice presidents have a fallout? Then what? Because then they're going to fall out, and then who they fall out with is going to be booted out of that Super League. And then what? Because they can't come back to the Premier League.
Well, the thing is, Ryan, I can see something like that happen. Well, I can see something like that happening, right?
So, yeah.
Because Florentino Perez has a massive ego.
Yeah. Hence why he's the president.
Like, he calls the shots at Real Madrid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No mistake about it. Regardless of managers and whatnot, he calls the shots. If Real Madrid want Mbappe, he'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Or if he wants Mbappe, he's going to move heaven and earth to make it happen. Stan Kroenke, we all know this. He has a massive ego. Like, you don't get to where he is without having an ego. Like, because successful people in life, they have egos. Like, if you don't have an ego and you are successful, like to the level that they are, bravo. You're better than most of them. But most people have egos. Most like successful people have egos. Stan Kroenke, massive ego. Florentino Perez, massive ego, bro. And from what's being told by the press and whatnot, Kroenke has been his best mate with this whole thing. So they're in it together.
Yeah, of course.
Like, they're in it together. One, because Florentino Perez, he doesn't... It's essentially like a cartel, right? You know when you get multiple people who run a drug cartel, right? You have multiple people running different operations and going in and around, right?
Yeah.
But money makes people do really daft shit.
That's what we're seeing now.
To the point where they think, well, I'm doing my bit. I've got my share of the pie, but I want more. To the point where they'll think, I want his share of the pie.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Since Pixie said that as well in the chat about the cartel thing and all that. Is it is. I mean, and also Stefan saying apparently Kroenke said it again. If he's like that with Madrid's guy, then yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
In terms of when is this Super League starting, no idea. That's what we're waiting for. This part of this announcement that's imminent, apparently, is going to confirm to us when they're planning to go ahead with this.
Yeah. They've not.
Oh dear.
There's nothing on.
I'm literally on Sky. I'm watching Sky Sports now, and nothing's come up yet.
Yeah.
Just the repetitive
There's nothing
stuff.
on Sky Sports News either, mate.
That's
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I'm watching Sky Sports News now.
They've been reposting, like they've got on their website. I'm looking at the live blog now.
Yeah.
They've just put up like what Neville said earlier,
and all that sort of
not
mark.
All that hypocritical shite. But they've not really updated it.
Oh dear.
Oh man.
Oh, this ain't good. This is really isn't good. You watch. We're in this streaming. It'll go boom. Breaking news. Oh dear. It's going up. That was my comment. Mine. It happened in the States with a group of Republicans against Trump. They got together, went after him, and as soon as the money rolled, they imploded. Alfie's saying I'm about to cry. You fucking trust me, you're not the only one. To be honest, I was doing the Arsenal watching on earlier, Colin, and literally people started asking about you. I was like, I didn't know, because I didn't know what's happened. Obviously, I didn't have the actual actual game. I didn't have any news and stuff like that. My phone didn't go off on one, so I assumed he was asking in general what I thought about the European Super League.
Yeah.
But when I come off,
I didn't actually know what was going on because bear in mind, I was like, because I was out with family all day. So
yeah,
I was honest to God, I had like 5 live on my phone, but just for the Arsenal Fulham game.
Yeah, but
and I didn't even hear anything about it. So
no,
I mean, they probably spoke about it, and I just like switched off. But
yeah. Possibly, but literally, the second I came off air, my phone just went. And I looked at it, I was like, "Oh my days!" And then literally, it's gone. As I didn't ever watch on, and that day's gone on, it's got more and more stuff is coming out, and literally to the point where we're doing this stream now, and and obviously, guys are saying in the chat that we're due an announcement which hasn't come out yet. I'm going to actually check with Fabrizio, see if Fabrizio has even come out. But Melvin said in the chat, remember what I said about cronking TV rights? Yeah, to be fair, Melvin did say, I'm trying to think now, throughout the whole season, that Cronky was going to hold out for something like this or streaming service for what's going to be a big money earner. And I'm not surprised, to be honest. Trying to think, where am I looking? For Fabrizio, that's right.
If anything, Newcastle fans will probably like be salving at this now because.
Well, because it means they can get their takeover go through.
It might actually mean it can go ahead now because, I mean, it's a lot easier to get a takeover done in a lesser league than it is a big league. And if this goes ahead, then.
No, Fabrizio's not said anything in terms of the Super League thing in 6 hours, and that was only to confirm the UEFA statement about the Super League, and the clubs concerned will be banned from playing in any other domestic and competition and European and international level and all that malarkey. Apart from that, he ain't said nothing apart from he's on the verge of signing from Barca to Zenit St. Petersburg apparently, and Messi's on the verge of signing a new contract at Barca over there. Oh dear, it's just fucking announce something, you bastards. I can go to bed.
I'm just looking at Fabrizio Romano's Twitter,
same,
based on just from that. I mean, I've just seen that Everton want 50 million euros for Moise Kean, which I mean, all right, sweet.
Stefan saying he's not surprised at his I'm not surprised at this. The only thing I'm surprised at is that this hasn't happened before. I think it's been for the last 20, 30 years. It's been rumored that it's just coming. It's just because for whatever reason, it's just dragged on and never actually come to fruition. I think this is the nail in the coffin to make it happen.
Yeah, they've floated the idea out for a long time, and people have jumped on it and be like, "Oh, it'll be interesting." Not one.
No. Many supporters of smaller teams can't stand the arrogance of supporters from bigger teams. Not all big fans are arrogant. No, let's get that straight first off. And Mike in the as a Newport fan says, how can Arsenal be in it when they celebrate drawing 1-1? We're not AFTV. That was embarrassing. I saw that as well. That pissed me off actually. Getting up at 1-0 and go, yeah, like it's a goal that could have won us the fucking league title or something like that. And literally going, get to the camera and going, well, hey, bring it on. Oh, behave yourselves. Go
to be fair though, when you're 1-0 down to Fulham, you'll take what you can get.
But they're over. So even I didn't fucking celebrate that to that extent. I went, yeah, come on, let's move on. See if we can get a bit more time and sort this out. But no.
Do you know what it is, Ryan? Right? I just think we're using the league games as like a barometer for Villarreal, who gets in, who doesn't.
Well, Lacazette's done, isn't he now? As well, by the looks of it.
Because I don't even think Arteta really cares about the league games. Like his selection today proved that. Yeah. Like he's got one eye on Villarreal.
Oh yeah. As I said earlier, I've been begging for Matty Vine to play playing guy over Leno, and he did that today. He did nothing wrong. He did everything on
what he did. Did it? No,
he got the pre-assist as well.
Don't start that. Don't start that.
Well, to be fair, if he hadn't been in the box, that goal never happened. So I'll praise him for having the initiative to go up there, doing something Leno hasn't done ever. I'm just my days. But even then, even before that, is getting in the centre circle, just like get me the ball and get back up there, fuck off.
Yeah.
Whereas then they would come to me. Oh fuck, I let it go in the goal. Sorry.
Yeah. To be fair though, Saka's goal wasn't offside though. It wasn't. I've looked at it several times.
You mean Sebastian's goal?
Yeah, but Saka was in, so it's
literally. Even I said literally, if he was facing the goal towards goal, then you can say okay, fair enough, because he can gain an advantage by pushing forward with the foot. But he's facing away from goal. The ball goes backwards anyway before it goes back towards the goal.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know why they're using VAR for that, because it's not a clear and obvious error, is it?
Oh no, but it's just the thing is, fun players aren't even complaining. They didn't even
use it for everything, and at this point, I'm just like, well, you don't need to use it for everything. Just use it for just use it for the decisions that are clear. Like that wasn't, so you can't give that as offside because it's not clear enough.
I mean, John says as well in terms of the Super League malarkey, he says it just means we'll be struggling in another league. Yeah, we'll probably finish bottom of that.
Well, to be honest, if anything, we might actually do better in that league. Right, and before someone cusses me, right, hear me out, right? I know this is twisted thinking, right, but just hear me out, okay? We might actually do better because we'll have more money coming in.
News is coming soon, apparently.
Oh, yeah, well, they said that at 10:30.
No, as the news reporter on Sky Sports News, as in the actual channel itself, it just said, you might want to stick around. We've got news incoming very, very soon. Some point this evening, so you want to stay awake a bit longer.
Oh God! Can they just announce it now so I can go to bed?
Saying that's what I'm thinking. I think for fuck's sake,
I'm tired. Please just announce it now.
If I'd been late, if we'd been late, going live. Juventus lost today. Oh, bloody hell! Didn't know that. That's all that I didn't know. Juventus lost to Geneva. However, been out. Bloody hell. So how many more wins does Inter? How many more points does Inter need to be confirmed?
They won't need a whole lot because Juve lost to Atalanta today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, 1-0. there's only a few more games left. About another
This
2
is what
wins.
I mean. Like, this is why the appointment of Pirlo baffled me at the time, because I'm looking at it, right, and I'm thinking, all right, sorry, didn't work for whatever reason. You were going to sack him. At some point. Me personally, I don't think Sarri did that bad of a job. If I'm honest, he still won him a league title.
Yeah, considering he had an Asian squad as well, he wasn't exactly young, vibrant, upcoming.
If anything, Sarri did a good job with an aging team.
Yeah.
So really, he earned another year, if I'm honest. But they sacked him off and they went with Pirlo, who just got his coaching badges
literally
and was
5 minutes
in the under 23s for 9 days.
Yeah,
like I just don't understand. Like I had people comparing this to like Ollie and Lampard and Arteta, and I'm just like, no, it's not that. It's not that. Arteta didn't get his coaching badges, and then he's got the Arsenal job. Same with Ollie, same with Lampard. It's not the same. It's not the same.
I mean, Steve's asking in the chat as well, how's the transfer situation going to work with this Super League as well? Are UEFA going to, and other leagues going to allow? That's another thing.
That's another thing that worries me. Like, they've not thought this through. They can't have.
No, because UEFA and FIFA could easily just go, no, block. You want to play from one of our representative leagues? No, thank you. Piss off. Goodbye. Then what?
Do you know what they'll have to do if they want this to be successful?
Go on.
They'll have to promote from within. That's it.
Academies.
And we're talking academy players coming through and whatnot.
Yeah.
If anything, that'll see the likes of Balogun. It'll see the likes of,
McGuinness and all that.
McGuinness and Ballard and all that. It may actually let them get their chance. Whereas they might not have got that in the Premier League. That's that's another positive that we can draw from this, because I can't see UEFA or any governing body outside of this allowing someone to be like, oh, by the way, we want that player. Yeah, no, not happening.
Yeah, sorry, thank you in the chat. It's also saying, if you look at the big sports media, when it comes to the football, all they talk about are the big teams, top six, Barca, Madrid, etc. If it tells you where their broadcasting money is interested, of course, that's why certain games like the Champions League, for example, they compete. They compete with each other to get who get that game. Basically, I mean, for example, this weekend, the FA
why
Cup,
do you think Fox Sports broadcast AC and Inter from not that long ago? Because it's a massive game still, even though AC Milan are not what they were. Like it's still massive because it has that name value of AC Milan, Inter Milan, the Milan derby.
Yeah.
Like, because when you think the Milan derby, you think flares going off in the fucking crowd, innit?
Yeah. Okay, now 1,172 views in the last thing. Bloody hell.
Bloody hell, man.
Jesus, that was not fucking Arsenal related, but yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, you're making moves right now.
Well, fuck it. Yeah, I think. Well, fucking YouTube aren't happy because they basically got me the yellow dollar sign thing. So they're basically, someone's not happy with what we're talking about, and ironically, this stream I've just checked is having the same issue. One sec. We're talking about UEFA. We're actually backing them for fuck's sake for once.
Yeah,
and it's like. And yeah, limit on this stream itself, like the previous stream. The previous stream up till ended the stream was full on advertiser, like the revenue side of it, all the ads and all that could be on. As soon as ended it, it's now gone to limited, and I've got it up for ad suitability. So basically, I'm going to look up one sec, fucking screen. This video is running limited or no ads due to content identified as not suitable for most advertisers. It remains fully playable and is eligible to earn subscription revenue from YouTube Premium. Fucking bastards. UEFA, get your heads out your ass and leave me alone. I'm fucking backing you up here for once. I think everyone in the league is actually backing UEFA for once.
Now you know why I don't have ads on videos anymore.
It's ridiculous. Never had this issue. Literally, that's a them two. So, well, hang on. So I've got one review, and the other one's on review now, and hopefully that'll be sorted. And then
I've not been on your channel in ages, mate. Don't know where that'll come from.
When was the last time he was on? I can't remember the last time he was on now. It's been this year, I think.
Yeah, it's been this year, but it's been a while.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when it was now. We're in April.
West Ham, I think.
Oh yeah, he came on part way through the year when we're getting tortured by fucking West Ham.
3-0 down.
You come along 3-0.
I mean, I'm a good luck charm. I'm a good luck charm.
Oh, Cash, mate.
I've been put through the ringer tonight, right?
Yeah.
You'll know what I mean in my next upload, by the way. But
no,
I've been put through the ringer enough.
Colin, do you want to deal with this? Because of how many times I've mentioned this tonight now.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna try and be nice. Okay, I'm gonna try and be nice.
And whilst you're trying to be nice, I'm going to restart this page again because it's playing up again. So while you're being nice, I'll be back in a second.
All right. Here's the thing. All right. I'm not saying there's no positives to it. Of course there is. But it's not a good thing for the sole reason that it effectively will mean more money for the rich people, for a start. And number two, it effectively will mean the end of the domestic football pyramid. And I'm not just talking about the Championship. I'm not just talking about League One and League Two. I'm talking about all the leagues below it. What happens to the likes of, Essex United and stuff? Like, the teams that are in that football pyramid that have, well, maybe not have aspirations of getting into the Premier League, but becoming sustainable by operating their way. This Super League will take money from the big clubs, which is where the Premier League get most of their money from.
Yeah,
take that away and ship it off to some other league. And as a result, the Premier League will lose more revenue because you won't have Liverpool in there, you won't have Arsenal in there, you won't have Man United, you won't have Chelsea. I mean, Tottenham are even in there. How that's even possible when they've not won a league title for 6 decades?
Yeah, that baffled me as well. That literally baffled me.
I mean,
why are they in the conversation? Why have they been invited?
All right, let's just say that they got into the Champions League because, with Harry Redknapp, right?
Yeah.
And up until Pochettino came along, they hadn't replicated it since. They kept on trying managers and it never worked. Right? Yeah. Then Pochettino comes along. And it's like, Champions League several times in a row. They even got to a Champions League final. So did we. They lost, but again, so did we. Like that.
But the thing is, we've been
we've qualified for that. We qualified for the Champions League
21 years in a row, 22 years like that.
We qualified for it for 2 decades. Tottenham just a couple of years.
We're still in Europe as we speak.
How are they even in contention? They've not won a trophy since 2008, let alone a Premier League title or no. I'm gonna upset Tottenham fans with this, but I don't care. You're not a big club, right? Just face facts. West Ham are a bigger club than you.
Mm-hmm. Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest. Just for examples. I mean, even Leeds, because Ollie's a Leeds fan in the chat, by the way, even Leeds, if that's the case,
Tottenham B-Tech Leeds, mate. Put some respect on Leeds United.
This is what I'm saying. If Tottenham are invited into this Super League, why aren't Leeds being invited? I mean, Leeds are a bigger club. Full stop.
Where did Rio come from? Leeds.
Yeah. Harry Kewell, Viduka.
I still remember that Leeds team. I still do remember that Leeds team quite well. I know they didn't win anything, but they were, you know, certain sides make you feel a certain way. That Leeds side, you know, obviously I loved the Arsenal team we had at the time, but if I had to pick a side that I loved not as much but close enough to it, it would be that Leeds side. Because when I look at that side, getting to a Champions League semi-final with, like, I mean, that team shouldn't have been near the Champions League semi-finals, and yet amazingly they pulled it off. With players that, you know, they weren't world beaters, but they were damn good.
Yeah. That's it. Just send a link to Ollie if he wants to join us. I'm going to send a link to him over on Instagram. And he can join us if he wants to as well. Give his thoughts as a neutral and obviously as a Premier League supporting fan as well. With Leeds, he's also saying your sayings shaded of that team in today's team under Bielsa. Anything can happen with us.
Yeah, that's the thing. Leeds are like, I don't know. See with Leeds, right? You know, people will often criticize them with like, "Oh, you got battered by United 6-2." Like, see, here's the thing: Leeds aren't going to win the league. Like, they're not going to win the league. They're not going to get into the top 4, even if the likes of West Ham are, well, actually, they've. I don't think West Ham will get top 4 now. But I mean, if you're conceding 3 goals to Newcastle, like, no. But like, they're first season in the league. They've got championship level players right now, and you know they're playing good. They're having a go, man. Like, they're not being like. Do you remember when Derby were in the Premier League, right? And how they were just really scared to just have a go and be like that team was one of the worst teams in the league, mate. Like, horrendous. Like, I actually respect Leeds for having a go. Reminds me of Wolves a little
bit. Alfie in the chat. Oh, bloody hell. We'll go now, wouldn't it? Alfie in the chat saying apparently it is not a league, it's like an FA Cup. Well, that's the fucking point of it then.
What's the point?
After all this, if that's the case, I'll fucking get them. But that's really stressful all day. Ollie's saying I'm off now, lads. Great stream. This dropped a like, heroes. Yeah, no problem, mate. And obviously, go and subscribe to Ollie's channel as well. Just if you want to get a Leeds perspective of obviously their journey back into Premier League and all that, and their fault, and obviously his thoughts on the situation. Obviously Bielsa, and if he thinks he'll stay, this and other bits and pieces of all Leeds based.
Do you know what, man? I've just thought of this, right? The Premier League didn't allow Newcastle getting taken over, right, because of human rights stuff, right?
The irony.
You've got this going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Just So wait for this fucking news. Just break the fucking news so we can all go to bed and go to sleep. Jesus Christ.
They're dragging it out. They do this, bro. They do this. Come on.
Oh my god. This is well Arsenal involved. Of course they fucking drag it out. If Arsenal were involved, we fucking drag everything out.
Well, no, they're dragging it out because Again, I keep saying this. They've not planned it out. They're dragging it out because they've not planned it. Like,
I'd love to know who fucking leaked it, by the way, because whoever's leaked it will get absolutely fucking killed by the rest of them. Oh dear. Premier League has become known as the best league in the world. It's the Premier League. It's Premier League teams who could potentially destroy it. The irony,
mate. If you've, I don't know if you've watched the Premier League lately, but
that's their PR thing, isn't it? Best league in the world. This is the best.
Well,
best
it's not because if you watch the quality of the league, it's horrendous.
Of course it's horrendous. The fucking Knights being relegated and coming back up for fuck's sake, just to be relegated again probably next season.
Mate,
if the season goes ahead as it is.
Mate, have you seen the state of that Newcastle side?
Mm.
How is that not in the bottom half or the bottom three?
They're in the bottom half, they're not in the bottom three. I don't know how.
Exactly, they've looked at it again.
Twice. Like, 2 years in the trot, I don't know how they're not in the bottom three.
Me neither.
I actually thought up to a few games ago they were going down, and then suddenly the last 2-3 weeks they've gone, hi, they're back.
One of Sheffield United's only wins was against Newcastle. Only wins, the other being Man United, but you know who's counted.
Oh dear. I mean, Stefan saying if it is like the FA Cup, it'll be a dummy run for a league within a few years. Mate, it's going to be league straight from the off. The fact they're using the word league in the actual name of the actual title of it all says it all.
Mate, if it's not a league format from the off, then they've fucked up royally.
Yeah, they're sort of bottled it in panic, going, well, that's what we're doing it like this. And then eventually they're going to do that fucking, just.
The only way this works, right, is if they do like a tier 1, tier 2, and then tier 3. It's the only way it works. Because then it might actually mean something.
At first it might survive, thank you, but in the end it won't. Because eventually the pool. Because if
the money will dry up, mate.
Because the big, as you said, the big six are playing in a completely different league against the other big clubs as in Barcelona, Madrid, Atletico, and Juventus, and the Milans, if they're the other two teams involved from Italy, and whoever else gets involved in it, suddenly the magnetic pull, the money is in that, and if it takes off the way they're hoping it does, it's domestic leagues that will suffer because then they haven't got that pull anymore, whereas that will, and that's where you'll suffer down the line. And in 18 months plus, that's when things will really come to fruition and then just go pop. And you'll see the complete aftermath and the backlash in a negative sense for everyone else that stays behind, that gets left behind, so to say. And then that's when you'll see possibly the German team jump ship, the PSG's jump ship, Lyon's maybe, Marseille, the ones that have got history in Europe or what are European trophies, whatever. Celtics may be invited, the Rangers may be invited as well, because as we said about their fan bases and all that, and again, their European history before, and it'll be a domino effect. If this kicks on, that's the thing. It's a big if it does kick on the way they want it to kick on, but there's also that risk of it not working and then coming back with their tails between their legs, going, "Please take us back, help us, please."
Yeah. The money will look good to start with, then it'll dry up because people will get bored of it.
Delia would get pissed up on all the money. Where are you? Let's be having you. Alfie's saying in the chat, yeah, if you like, you will play semi-final and a final. Bloody hell. Also, again, me and mine, I'm going to wrap this up because this is ridiculous. It's dragging, it's pissing me off now. But
it's dragging like a mother.
How do they decide as well? Are they going? Because obviously there's no relegation. So what? How they in terms of who the actual title winner every season? Is it going to be like what we see in the Premier League, like who was top? That's the winner, or are we going to have a top four, and then they have a playoff against each other, then the final playoff, and whoever wins that final is the league winner, making the actual league. They're not, if they do that, that's fucking. It's bizarre. It wouldn't surprise me. They do it in rugby.
Do you know what I could see them doing? The same way in which the Scottish League do it, split the league into two halves.
Yeah.
Top half and bottom half.
After X amount of games, like you did a breakaway thing, yeah. And basically, you have to pay each other, depending on what half you're on. Again, basically, X amount of times, and then off you go.
But even then,
yeah, as you said, it's still a bit. Stefan in the chat saying, of course, it won't be the last of it. There's more to come. This is only a snippet. Look how bad it's got. This is a snippet. Like I said, the second I say goodbye and click the end broadcast, it's gonna break, and I'm gonna be naffed off because I can't give my instant reaction to you guys here and now. You have to be held back and then gone again next time I come on. Which could be tomorrow by this count because I've got to do because I've literally moved. I've had to move my review player rating stream to tomorrow because of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Well, the way I would do it, like honest to God, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to bugger off as well because he's doing my editing now.
What I'm gonna have to do, right? I'm gonna have to mute the phrase European Super League on Twitter.
Oh yeah, on all the hashtags involved, if pro or against it, and all that crap.
I have to mute it because I don't want to hear it.
Oh dear. Thank you. Saying what year would this begin? I think the rumours again until you hear what's going on, what the statement's coming, whatever statement's coming out comes out. It's believed after this, not this season, next season. So after the 21-22 season, that's when they're looking to launch it. But again, this is rumours. We don't know until they actually come out and say something. Just fucking say it. God give me strength, Brownie. Do you have any news in Spain? Please. I want to die.
Give it like.
My eyes.
No, I don't know.
I don't know anymore.
I'll tell you what, right? Give it another half an hour, and if nothing happens, then
we end the stream and that's it.
Yeah, we're not doing more than half an hour, right? If it doesn't happen within the next half an hour, lads, right? We're fucking this off because we can't be honest with it.
No, exactly. I think the guys will be totally on board with that because it's dragging on now. But in the meantime, if you're anything going to ask us, either related to this or just football related in general, just get your questions in. We'll pass the time doing that because this is just like, otherwise we'll stop repeating ourselves, boys and girls. And no one wants that.
Not really, no.
Oh dear, Brownie. Seriously, any information in Spain? Half an hour extra time.
Oh, God. It's not extra time. That's how long we're giving it.
Oh God, I want to cry. I literally look at the screen. My eyes are actually I'm getting pink eye.
My eyes are feeling heavy, man.
Yeah, I want to go to bed.
Dropping fucking dead.
My throat is hurting because I've been speaking. I've not stopped talking since going live at 1 o'clock this afternoon. I've literally done did the watch along, ended that, did an hour and a half, did that, and then I went on to Richard's channel for about 15, 20 minutes doing a fan cam on his channel, reaction to the game. Then about an hour and 10 minutes I had to myself, so I was like, cool. Then I did the watch along for the Leicester game. And then, obviously, we spent most of the time talking about fucking this bollocks. And then I've come straight back on a half hour later.
Yeah. Who won between Leicester and Southampton? I missed
Leicester won 1-0. Scrappy got it was crap. It was crap. It was worse than yesterday's game.
Ugh.
Southampton won it.
Well, you know what? If Leicester win a trophy, right?
It'll be the first FA Cup. It's their first. If they win this, it'll be their first FA Cup.
That will be an incredible achievement. If Brendan Rodgers wins Leicester in FA Cup, that is. I mean, that
As an Arsenal fan,
if he wins the FA Cup, right, does that put Brendan Rodgers in like elite manager territory for you?
It'd be a start. Could be his first trophy he's won in England. It took him a while, but yeah, if he then follows that up with a title charge next season and possibly a title sample, yeah.
First trophy you would win that matters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a start of going towards being an elite manager and a super manager, whatever you want to dress it as. But yeah, I'm not going to try and pronounce your name, by the way. I do apologise. But he says, as an Arsenal fan, I'm disappointed in our owners. I'm not surprised at all, but it is what it is. All it is now is business, not the fans, just money. Again, that's been there for years. Putting the history in the bin. What are we going to do in the Super League against the others? Just be part of but making it numbers, basically. Because guarantee Madrid, look who's the main president of, or whatever you want to word it, the main guy running at top of the bill here. He runs Real Madrid. So Real Madrid are going to win this league, this Super League, more times than anyone else. Trust me.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Cheddar says apparently an announcement in 10 minutes. They said this over an hour ago.
Nigh, Eli, it's got to be any minute now.
Oh dear. I lie. It must be any minute now. I won't be.
Cheddar's is a joker, mate. You said no.
Again, I'm not going to pronounce. I'm not even going to even try to say this. Just in case it is what I think it's trying to say. But I'll mention your comment because there's nothing rude in there what I can make out. Said I've supported Inter since '96, but if we play in this abomination of a league, basically, yeah, I'm done with football. It's been.
No!
It's been announced. It's been announced.
Bollocks.
Fabrizio. Let's have a look. What have you?
Oh,
I'm going to. Oh, 1 second.
I'm on one.
1 second. Official statement.
Wrong one.
I've got it up. I'm going to put it on the screen. 1 second. Fucking hell. I'm going to mute you because you're talking crap.
Bayern and Leipzig are in talks to join it as well.
Oh, but by Leverkusen or by Munich?
Bayern Munich.
And you say Leipzig?
Okay.
Here we go. This is on the screen.
I've seen it, yeah.
For anyone, I'll read it out. I'll go into the actual things. I'll read it out properly. Official statement. 12 football clubs today jointly announced an agreement competition, the Super League. AC Milan, oh my God, Arsenal, I've had to go. Chelsea, Barca, Inter Milan, Juventus, Liverpool, City, United, Real Madrid, and Tottenham have all joined. Oh my God, shit is about to hit the fan.
Why is Tottenham there? I just don't understand.
Shit is about to hit the fan. 3 more clubs are expected to join as founding clubs before the inaugural season, which is expected to start as soon as possible. Oh my God, it could be next season. This could start next season. So we may not. This is Europa League. Then what's the point of competing in it? What's the point of us and United going for it then? Because they're not going to be in Champions League. They've already said. In the future of the founding clubs, look forward to consulting.
That's something.
Consulting and what's that? Founding clubs look forward to consulting with UEFA and FIFA in order to work together. Oh my God.
This is just horrendous.
I mean, I get what you said about the Euro, obviously winning the actual thing, but at the same time, the main prize is being in Champions League. So our whole goal of winning it was to be in Champions League. So what's the point?
Yeah, I know, but at least, do you know what, Ryan? Selfishly, I kind of want Arsenal to win the European trophy anyway, because I've not seen that.
Oh, no, yeah, literally, yeah.
So that's the only reason, but
yeah,
if this happens next season, right? Then we're
saying just the they're saying ASAP because so that's what I'm assuming next season. The way they say the word of it, ASAP.
Yeah.
Okay, so Premier League. No, it's City. You're coming up to play us, but we're not going to be here next season. Good luck. You might actually win the league next season. Premier League.
If anything, West Ham might actually win the league.
Oh, fucking hell. Imagine that. Jesus Christ. That's one way of getting Champions League football, I suppose. Oh, God.
So what we're saying, Ryan, 10-2s on the regular?
When Bayern Munich join the forces, yeah. 10-2s, 6-1s against Barcelona. Madrid might go have a bit of mercy because
actually, we might actually get lucky against Barcelona because they're a shit show now.
That's true, actually. But then Messi, maybe that's why Messi's staying by the look to it, because obviously he's looking to sign a new contract. Maybe that's the reason, because he can show off his super good skills against us. Oh, dear. I'm just looking in the chat on my phone. Let me hypes. By the way, it says let me join. Literally, we're about to wrap. Mate, we're about to wrap up. We've been going for nearly an hour and 40 minutes. We need our sleep. Oh my God! I'm literally going for the chat because the computer's gone frozen again. So go and Talksport Twitter. They have the press release of it. Talksport Twitter. Okay, one sec. Connie forgot what. Oh my days! I'm not going to say that. But the fact that both two clubs that you follow deeply, Arsenal and AC Milan, are both involved in this as well. We had a feeling it might be Milan, but it weren't confirmed.
I did tell you Milan would be involved, didn't I?
AC, though, that's the thing. That was the one we weren't sure of. We weren't surprised because obviously it's Gazidis who runs the show, let's be honest.
No, that's the sole reason I put them in there. Like, it is what it is.
But they've been warned today as well, and they're still going ahead with this. Are they mad?
Football's dead, mate. Football is dead.
Yeah, people literally anything Arsenal put out on their Twitter, rest in peace, football, the game is gone. Talk sport, that was it. Oh my God, this is mad. I made my voice and people are going to get pissed off, by the way, because
I just don't understand why Tottenham are in there, to be honest.
All right, here we go. It's a press release. If I can get it on the screen. Oh my God. Right, here we go. I'm going to share on the screen. Hopefully it works and gives us a whole look at this.
Why do I get the feeling this is going to be a shit show?
Right, can you see it on the screen? Do you want me to read it out?
I mean, it is anyway.
Oh my days, Jesus Christ, it's small. I'm going to go and read it out properly. Right. Press release immediate. Right. Leading European football clubs announce new Super League. Right. 12 of Europe's leading football clubs have today come together to announce they have agreed to establish a new midweek competition, the Super League. So, hang on. I'm confused as fuck now. Governed by its founding clubs, and we're one of them apparently. AC Milan, Arsenal,
three clubs, three more will join, which will mean Bayern, Leipzig,
and Dortmund. I'm assuming.
I'm guessing Dortmund probably. So
the formation of the Super League comes at a time when the global pandemic has accelerated the instability in the existing European football economic model.
That's bullshit. We're going to do this anyway.
Oh God, it's been going on for 30 years. This has been in the making. Oh, that's all stuff already. Right, here we go. Competition format. Here we go. Right, 20 participating clubs with 15 founding clubs and a qualifying mechanism for further 5 teams to qualify annually every year. Okay, based on achievements in the prior season. Midweek fixtures with all participating clubs continuing to compete in their respective national leagues. We'll tell the Premier League that one. Thank you very much. Preserving a traditional domestic match calendar, which basically what that means. Exactly. It's a Champions League. We're not competing in that. We're not looking to compete in that. We're moving away from it. It's basically our version.
So basically, we've just been given a handout. Yeah, all right.
So we're just basically going. We don't want to be involved in Champions League anymore. We're doing our own thing, but we're competing competing in our own league domestically and in a fucking European domestic thing as well at the same time. Because that's gonna and 5 teams from the respective 5 top European countries will have a chance to join us every season. 5 will go out and 5 will come in. So basically 5 goes out and 5 come in is what they're saying. It's what I can make out. And August start with clubs participating in 2 groups of 10. Oh my God, give me strength.
Good Lord.
Playing home and away fixtures with the top 3 from each group automatically qualifying for the quarter-finals. Teams finishing 4th and 5th will then compete in the 2-legged playoff for the remaining quarter-final positions. A 2-legged knockout format will be used to reach the final at the end of May, which will be staged at a single fixture at a neutral venue. So basically, it's their version of Champions League, basically. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is. I'm not even. I hate this, right? Because do you know what this feels like, Ryan? It feels like we've just been given a handout.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. Oh God! I mean, we're never gonna. We won't win the thing.
No.
So we're just there to make up the numbers, basically.
Well, so it's Tottenham in that case, because they're going to win it either.
No.
They won it.
No.
As I said before, look who the main guy is. The top president, or you want to call it, president of this league is Real Madrid's guy. So of course they're going to win it at most times, 9 times out of 10. If we fuck it down, my days. So basically, this is the elite club, so we say, doing a big FU to the UEFA basically, and saying we're not competing in the Champions League anymore. We're doing our own thing. This is basically a Champions League without the actual name of UEFA or Champions League in it. It's like the European Super League. So it's basically a domestic. It's a club's version. They've come together and made a version of the Champions League without having UEFA involved.
Might as well do now, right? Seeing as how we're going to be still be in the Premier League anyway.
Yeah, go on.
Might as well go out and try to win the league. You know what I mean?
Fuck it, why not?
Why not? I know it's unlikely, but
yeah, because
top 4 means fuck all now, doesn't it?
Well, it does. Literally, may as well go out for it, but we'll stand doing it.
Means fuck all.
Well, it does.
It means fuck all, man. Like top 4 is just like top 4 is not even a thing now.
I'm gonna go on Arsenal's Twitter see what they've fucking said about this bollocks.
I mean, I don't know if they've said anything, to be honest.
Well, apparently, Cheddar's just saying Liverpool have mentioned it as well.
But Liverpool are prompt, mate. That's the difference.
I'm a Liverpool fan, and if the Liverpool owners have signed up, mate, it's confirmed. It is now officially done in the works. Yep. There's no if, buts, or maybes now. It is there. Oh, Arsenal Twitter. Yep. Let's have a look. Yeah, they've announced it as well 2 minutes ago.
They've put it out. We are one of the 12 founding clubs of the European Super League. Why? You've not been in the Champions League since fucking 2017.
Yeah, we fell out of it in 2017.
Ugh.
And we're in 2021 now. I think it's actually said we qualified for that competition 20 odd years over 2 decades, and the fact that we're still in European competition, so to speak, via Europa League to continue that.
That's the only reason. It's the only reason we're still.
But does it explain what Tottenham have fucking? They ain't won any European trophies in my lifetime. At least we've won a European trophy, not about the European trophy, but it's a European Cup at least.
No. We could have done it in 2006.
Yeah, but referees had to fuck that one up as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up now because I'm now shattered, relieved it's not what it was, but at the same time confused of why doing it anyway. It's basically the massive FU to UEFA, basically. So, yeah, I'm just done. Oh, yeah, it is what it is. It's going to be interesting. Let's put it that way. The aftermath of this, but yeah, guys.
Oh boy, it's never easy.
No, I mean, Colin, where can people find if you want to be found on social media to talk about this even more on your social medias or
I'm
your channel?
I'm not going to talk about this on social media, mate, because I'll just block it. Yeah, so I'll deal with it. But
I'll
be uploading another FM video at some point. I mean, the next one's going to be mad, trust me. But apart from that, yeah, just head over to Colin Plays FM, bro. I'm sure it's just. Oh, God.
Oh dear.
I can't even think straight. I'm baffled by. I really am baffled by this. They've essentially made top 4 irrelevant, and
the only thing that's relevant now. The only thing that's relevant now is winning the league or being relegated. That's it.
Yeah, they've made the Premier League irrelevant. So congrats, lads. Well done. My applause out to those fuckers who are delusional.
So this could basically come into effect as of next season. And if that's the case, us winning the Europa League is pointless because the whole point of the Europa League winning it, apart from being a European trophy.
Do you know what, right? Winning the Europa League's not pointless, right? And I'll tell you why. It might actually be our only chance to win a European trophy that actually has meaning. Because this thing, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't have meaning. It doesn't.
No,
it doesn't. Until you can build the prestige up over several years, right? It's not going to work.
Yeah.
And what you're going to see now, right? Mark my words, this will happen. You will see 200 million euros, pounds spent minimum by the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea. That's all going to happen. You might even see it with Bayern Munich if they join it. Leipzig, I don't think so because they've got a way of doing it. But
no, but you know what I'm saying. Literally, if the money rolls in, then they've got the money to do
Once
that.
Once the money rolls in, you're going to see ridiculous. You're going to see ridiculous transfer fees. You're going to see fucking £500 million players soon.
Yep. It's going to get.
That's what's going to happen. What they've done, essentially, is what Thad said in the chat. They've pissed on the fucking prestige.
Yeah.
What they've done.
Yeah, Thad in the chat. I was seeing it on my screen as well. Yeah, literally. Also, thank you. Just for wrap things up, you're saying it is just a replacement tournament for Champions League Europa League. It makes them competitions null and void now, baby. For the likes of us, we're not going to be in it anymore. That's it.
No.
So this whole fight of this season of getting to the top 4 and Champions League was pointless. So Man United as well. So one sec, Man United as well, finishing second. Man City winning the league. It makes it, in terms of for a Champions League spot, makes it pointless because we're not going to be in a competition anyway. So it's just it's just it is what it is.
The Champions League and Europa League actually had, prestige. They meant something. This doesn't.
No. It's just going to get messy now because UEFA are going to kick off massively. I don't get why the FA is kicking off. If it's basically a Champions League replacement of Champions League football midweek wise, it doesn't affect the actual domestic league. What's the big deal for them in that sense?
Champions League's done, mate.
Yep.
Who's going to want to watch the Champions League when you've got
West Ham?
Most of the founding clubs in this thing are the big guns that are in the Champions League quarters, semis, and finals every year.
They're the ones that everyone wants to watch. Yeah, exactly.
Like, they've killed the Champions League. They've killed the Europa League. Well done.
And binned off the conference where you've got started.
Fuck off now.
Yeah, and they've fucked up the conference league as well. But that's even got kicking off either as well. But yeah, I'll know that things up because this is just like dragged on now. We've got the news. It's done. It's a new Champions League without UEFA being involved. Basically, that's why they're not involved. That's why UEFA will never be involved because it was basically a big FU basically to them. Basically,
the only thing matters, Ryan, is winning the days. And to be honest with you, mate,
and even that,
I wouldn't. Do you know what it is? If the Champions League was still relevant, all right, I can tell you for a fact, if we won a league title, I would have genuinely burst into tears just because of how long it had been.
Yeah.
But this, nah.
Yeah.
I'll just
Cheddar's in the chat saying,
we won the league.
Yay.
Yeah,
okay.
Won there.
Cool. Fantastic. Yay. And also, Cheddar's is saying, does this mean 7th in the Prem gets Champions League? Fuck no. So I have no idea anymore. What's the point of even competing in the Premier League? If we're in the Super, we're guaranteed to be in the fucking this Super League because we're a founder now. Is that the 5 other teams join us every year? So the five teams that are not founders get put out anyway. So what's the fucking point? If I can read it correctly.
Well, they said that there's no relegation, but that's not entirely true now, is it?
No. Okay, now so it's sort of changed. That's why it took so long because they're sort of jigging it about like, oh fuck, shit, make it relevant. Jesus Christ! Oh, I'm just done with this shit. Where we're back to. I'll be back tomorrow for the review player ratings for the game earlier on today for Arsenal Fulham with me and the guys, and then Tuesday nothing planned. Wednesday doing a preview for the Everton game on Friday. Then the Everton game comes along and doing that. I'm going to try and fit in a my quiz and Mike as well. Hopefully, we've got time for that. And yeah, a weekend. I don't know what's happening yet, and we'll go from there. But until then, guys, you've had 3 streams from me, for fuck's sake. Be happy. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button. Follow everyone on their social medias, respectively, and go and check out Colin's channel as well. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Somewhat, what's left of it. And I'll see you tomorrow, basically. And that was always up the Arsenal. Come on, you guys.
Well done.
Fantastic. Woohoo.